watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so this third fight between Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, it completely confirms and corroborates every single thing that I have been telling you guys about what Turki Al-Sheikh and the rest of the race fans have been saying recently when it comes to either Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, or any other black fighter in particular. What Katie Taylor and Serrano just proved in this fight is they didn't care what race fans thought. They didn't care what Turki thought. They didn't even care if they got booed. They were going to follow their game plan and listen to what their trainers was telling them to do. The only thing they cared about in this fight was winning, and they didn't care how they got it. They didn't care whatever style it took to get the win. Katie Taylor and Serrano, they were on the biggest platform for a boxing match, especially a female boxing match. And according to the reports, both boxers got paid $9 million each. And the fight turned out to be a strategic chess match in which the fans actually booed. The fans, they booed throughout this fight. Katie Taylor, for the most part, she was fighting on her back foot. In fact, her trainer kept telling her to keep moving. He said to Katie, Serrano, she's too flat-footed, so just keep moving. You know, catch her with the 1-2 or the 2-1 and keep moving. And then when it came to Serrano, even though Serrano was coming forward, she was coming forward in a very passive way. She would throw maybe 1 or 2 punches and then she would jump back. And a lot of times when Serrano was throwing punches, she was so far away from Katie Taylor, at some points it looked like they were shadow boxing against each other. Serrano, she never tried to cut off the ring. In fact, while Katie Taylor's trainer was telling her to keep moving, Serrano's trainer was telling her, you know, she wants you to come on the inside, but don't do what she wants to do. Fight her from the outside. And then he told Serrano, throw the 1-2 and then move. So you have both trainers telling their fighters to stick and move. And that is the way they both fought, which is what Turki would call some Tom and Jerry shit, right? But once again, that phrase was really only supposed to be used for black boxers. And here you have 2 boxers that are not black, that are both in the ring fighting a strategical chess match. But the difference is neither one of them was really that effective, which is why Andre Ward, who was one of the commentators, he kept saying throughout the entire fight, one of them needs to step it up. Now, I told you guys that there were boos throughout this fight. In fact, at one point in the fight, while the crowd was booing, the female commentator, she says, and I quote, I love watching them be strategic and implement their game plans. And then that was followed up by the blow-by-blow commentator saying, there's no way these two would disappoint us, and they have not. And you could clearly tell when he said that, he was trying to do damage control to offset the boos. Now, let me just say this. In defense of Serrano and Katie Taylor, I don't believe that they put on a horrible performance. But what their performance did is it exposed the double standards that exist in the sport of boxing. I mean, because when you listen to the way commentators call a Shakur Stevenson fight, and once again, it doesn't matter, even if Shakur is aggressive and he's coming forward and he's throwing a lot of punches and he's knocking down and knocking out his opponent, like when he knocked out Josh Padley, he doesn't get the type of reception that these 2 fighters, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, got from the commentators while they were being booed, and neither one of them was as aggressive as Shakur Stevenson was in his last 2 fights. At the end of the day, you can't blame Katie Taylor. She actually had a good game plan, and it worked because her team realized that Amanda Serrano, she is very flat-footed, which means you can nullify her aggression with foot movement. So even though it was a competitive fight, Katie Taylor, she clearly won the fight. She completely outboxed Serrano, but she could have been more effective than she was because her trainer was giving her the right instructions. Her trainer was telling her, when you move away from Serrano and you try to set her up with that right hand, come back with a right hand jab, like a 2-1-2, instead of just coming back with 1 punch at a time. And in those first 5 rounds, that's all Katie Taylor would do. She would move around the ring, try to jump back and catch Serrano with just 1 right hand. It wasn't until the last round that Katie Taylor's trainer finally told her, you need to let your hands go because this fight is close. And at this point, Andre Ward, he was still saying that one of them needs to step it up. Now, there's a couple of reasons why both fighters chose to fight a safety first fight. For one reason is they understood the magnitude of this event. Once again, it's the first time ever in history you have an all-female card on Netflix and you're in the main event. So they're thinking to themselves, oh my God, I can't mess around and lose this fight. I can't mess around, get caught, get hurt, and get knocked out on the biggest stage ever. So because neither one of them are as skilled or as talented as a Clarissa Shields, when it comes to Katie Taylor, this was the only way she could guarantee herself a win. Another reason why neither one of them was aggressive was because of the punishment they put each other through in their last fight. After what they had been through, once again, they weren't trying to listen to these race fans or Turkey al-Sheikh. They like, damn that, I'm going to fight smart. Because the truth is, no boxer fights to get punched in the face. The main reason you fight is to punch your opponents in the face and not get hit back. And that's exactly what they were both trying to do in this fight. You know, guys, this happens so many times in the sport of boxing where you get these decafs that will say something stupid publicly and it will always come back to bite them in the ass and expose their hypocrisy. And once again, that's exactly what this fight did. And there's going to be many, many more fights like this where once again, there's going to be fighters that the race fans are going to be rooting for and they are going to be fighting a smart fight. Because the truth is, no boxer wants to look like Tom from Tom and Jerry in any fight. Because if you're looking like Tom, then that means you're getting beat up, you're getting embarrassed, and you're looking like a damn fool. And let's take this even further. Let's be realistic. When it comes to Shakur Stevenson, none of these race fans wants to see Shakur go in there and completely knock out William Zepeda. That's the last thing they want to see in this fight. That's the last thing they wanted to see when Errol Spence was fighting against Mikey Garcia. When Terrence Crawford fights Canelo or he fights anyone who's not black, that's the last thing they want to see is a vicious knockout. So it's all cap once again when they claim they want to see these guys going toe-to-toe, not at the expense of their fighter getting knocked out. They don't. We know what time it is. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.